Well, during the winter months, you may be finding a few unwanted critters uncaged in your home.
Yes, here now from the University of Illinois Wildlife Medical Clinic, we have Dr. Stephanie Lewis and Dr. Erica Bender hanging out with us. Okay, so they want to get nice and warm and cozy inside too, right?
They do, yeah. This is a time of year that people have a lot of problems with rodents entering their house. So yeah, we just wanted to talk about a few things that we want to discourage the use of that can be potentially really dangerous for some of our local wildlife, and some things that are going to be a little bit safer.
Yeah, that's interesting because I don't really think of the wildlife like being wildlife, I guess, when you think of rats and mice, but I mean, I guess they are. Okay.
Well, you know, for the winter, they're not wildlife. They like to be a little bit more domestic and come inside.
That's exactly.
Share some crackers, maybe.
Okay, so let's start with the bad. What kind of things should we avoid using?
Yeah, so what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these things that are geared towards rodents can actually affect other kinds of wildlife. So like these bait stations can contain a poison. There's a lot of different kinds of poison on the market out there, so it is important to educate yourself on what specific kinds are in the bait stations that either you or a pest control professional may be using. But what happens is that the rodents don't actually go in here, you know, there's little openings. They don't go in here and stay in here. They go in here, eat the bait, and then leave. And then some of that poison can actually be ingested by predators. So hawks, owls, eagles, bobcats, coyotes, things like that.
Ooh, okay.
So then those animals can actually suffer from the effects of
And they're getting it from the animal that has ingested it.
Exactly.
And so that poison, even though it's been ingested, it's still poisonous.
Yes.
To other animals.
Yeah, some of them are really, really potent and can actually accumulate over time. So they can ingest multiple rodents that have ingested the bait and then get sick themselves later on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You got another little contraption here.
Yes, so this is a glue trap. We really discourage the use of these. They're actually quite inhumane for anything that gets stuck on them, but we get more than just rodents that are stuck in them. You know, every year at the Wildlife Medical Clinic, we'll get songbirds, lizards, snakes, we'll even get owls and hawks stuck to these because they're going after the rodents that are getting stuck on these. And so it's actually really important, if you do find an animal that's trapped on these, they do need help from a wildlife rehabilitator. So because they can have a lot of injuries, they can have damage to their fur and feathers.
So if you do find something like that, if you find yourself in that situation, should you call somebody to come over, or can you actually bring it into the clinic with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. We encourage people just to call us ahead of time, just to get instructions on how best to handle the situation.
Right, because it could actually be dangerous to pick up the trap and bring it in.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we might give instructions on how to quickly kind of cover the animal so they don't injure themselves more, and we advise people not to try to remove them from it because we have a special process to remove them from it.
Okay, let's talk about maybe some more natural ways to you know, some alternative options. What do we have here? Because I'm smelling lots of peppermint.
Yes, so right over here we have some options such as a spray as well as some sachets. Overall, the goal of these natural options is to make it as uncomfy of a space so the rodents don't want to be in your home.
Less than hospitable.
Yes. So these products use things such as essential oils, especially peppermint, and like clove oil, as well as like pepper, cayenne pepper, and that smell is bothersome
Cayenne
to
pepper.
the Yeah.
Interesting.
A little spicy.
I have to get into my spice drawer and pull some
I guess
out.
so. Ammonia. They don't like the smell of that?
Ammonia too, so you can use plastic cups and pour little cups of ammonia and place it in areas that you think that mice and rodents are going to be to help deter them. Another product that we have is this little guy right here, and that emits a frequency that is too high for us or our dogs and cats to hear, but at a noise that...
So how do you know if it's working?
It's a good question.
I'm just kidding. But we trust the
hopefully
product.
you don't have mice and rats in your area.
Well, I do have one more question. So, you know, I've got small kids. I also have pets. we're talking about wildlife, but I'm assuming the same goes for kids and pets. Like, this has got to be really dangerous in the home if you have kids and pets around.
For sure, yeah. And so there's some compounds that are used in these bait boxes that have been regulated by the EPA in certain states because it's so dangerous to pets and children if they get a hold of it. I've treated a lot of dogs that have unfortunately been exposed to these compounds as well.
Wow.
So it's something that you want to be really careful about because there's really no safe poison.
When
right?
you
That's
solve
why
a
it's
problem, you don't want to create a new
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
got to be
exactly.
careful, especially when you're dealing with poisons or traps. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies,
Thank
for
you.
great tips here. If you're looking for some alternative options when it comes to keeping those pesky pests out of your home this winter, if you want to connect with the Wildlife Medical Clinic, there's their Facebook page. You can give them a like. And we, of course, will connect you with them after today's show at CILiving.tv.